everyone, I'm back from my month-long vacation and business trip and I want to tell you all about my experience at Certex. And just to start it off, I'll just say it was amazing and I'm so excited and pleased that I went. In my previous video I showed you my Certex portfolio, so if you want to go back I'm not going to show that again, but that was one thing that we brought to Certex. Me and 5 other Swedish women started Swedish Creatures in an art collective or design studio about 1.5 years ago. We met on an online forum and Sabina, one of the ladies, she took the initiative and she just asked us anybody interested in Surtex, and I saw Surtex and I was like, oh my god, yeah, because I always thought that that was going to be something that would be perfect for me because it's a surface pattern and illustration trade show, so you just show your illustrations and work to tons of different companies. They just look at your portfolio, you don't have to sell products and things like that, which I'm kind of over. So, and I've looked into Surtex before and it's been so expensive that there's no way I could have gone by myself, but when you divide everything by 6, in the end it became a lot more easy to manage. Still expensive, but I think it will be worth it, or I hope so. So it was from the 21st of May to the 23rd, so it's only 3 days, and since we're 6, we split it up into, so we were 3 and 3, so it won't be so overwhelming for people to come into our booth, 6 women just sitting there like, oh, what are you looking for? Oh, look at my portfolio, So we were 6, but we were 3 and 3. So I think that worked out really well, and we met so many people. It was amazing. Like in the trade shows that I've gone to in Sweden, it's like you try to get people to come talk to you and they're just like so busy and they just walk past and they're so shy too, so if they do come up maybe they'll ask you for your business card or something like that, and it's just like so awkward and it's very difficult to find leads. But in America people were a lot more friendly and they were willing to talk to you, and it seemed like people who were there, they were genuinely interested in finding people, illustrators to work with. So that was very refreshing and very exciting. Overall in the 3 days we got around 70 leads or 70 contacts that we can follow up with, which is ridiculous and amazing, and I hope something happens with that. And it was a whole bunch of different companies, from everything from home decor, kids, stationery, I don't know. We'll see what pans out. Now we're emailing like crazy. Also, to maybe get a little bit more incentive for people to stop by and talk to us and stuff, and as a thank you for giving their business cards, we gave out little Swedish Creatures goodie bags. We had little bags and we had stamped with our little logo, and inside the bags we had our info cards with all of our information. We had we made a design together, all 6 of us. Each person made a little Swedish design and then we put it all together in a pattern. This is what it turned out. And on the back we had our email and a little blurb about us. We also designed a disktrasa with our different designs. I did the little house, the little typical Swedish red house. And this is a dishcloth, is a very typical Swedish item. You wet it and it becomes a sponge and you clean your kitchen or different surfaces with it, windows, whatever. And then you can like wring it out and then you put it in the dishwasher to clean it, and then it dries up again and then you keep reusing it. It's a much better alternative to paper towels, which are very wasteful and bad for the planet. Yep. So we're sponsored by this company called Tryck, which is a Swedish company, which is really exciting. So we had those in all of our goodie bags. And we did coasters from Swedish ori trays. They're made out of Swedish birch trees. And we all had one design each. So that was in our little luxury gift bag, I'd say. Swedish gift bag. And they turned out really well, I think. And people seem to be really pleased about them, so that's always good too. And also we gave away sell sheets. That was something really good to have, because when people, I'm sure they're going around, they're meeting tons and tons of people, and they're going to forget who that artist and what their artists look like. It must be a lot to take in. It was pretty insane, I would say. And so you have sell sheets. So each artist, we had 4 patterns each, so people could take one of these sheets with them on their way, so they remember, and had their contact info on the bottom. And then I had a few examples of collections that I had to give away, like my Christmas party collection I had, and my new pears and cherries design. I also had my peaches and what was it? Wild roses. Can't remember. Little examples of mock-ups and things to give a little visualization. And the last one I had my botanical sketchbook pattern as like a little fabric collection too. So that's what I showed and gave away. And I only have a few left, so that was really cool that people seem to be really interested in my work. Which made me, of course, really happy. And it's always fun to hear, especially when you're standing there and then somebody's pointing out, oh, I like this and this, and you're like, oh, that's mine. It was kind of funny. As a group, we created a database also. I created actually with Airtable, and I'm obsessed with it. I created it at the beginning when we were collecting information from different companies that we were going to send our invites to. And then we've also saved all of the contacts that we've made at Certex. We've also saved lots of other information, like all of our prints that we have, so that we could, if a customer came up to us and was interested in someone else's work and they weren't there, then we could go into the database and see exactly what they were willing to sell it for, or to, or for what, and what it's all about. So that was very handy. And Stike was there at Certex a couple times. He was hanging out with his daddy for the most part, but he came to nurse, and stuff like that. And he was a big hit with the ladies, so that was good. He should have been at the fair the whole time. He's good at baby sell. Yeah. So all I can do now is hope that someone really was genuinely interested in my work, and that some cool deals will come out of it. I hope that we'll also go to Certex next year. I'm already excited for that, even though nothing's happened this year yet. And it was only like 2 weeks ago. A couple of my tips would definitely be that you should start preparing much earlier than you think you need to. Definitely, I would start planning right now for next year's. So I would want a year in advance. And if you're a little bit procrastinator, I would at least do 6 months, because there's so many things you need to do. Not only create a whole new portfolio of work, you also have to start emailing your contacts to get them to remember you when they see you at the fair. They'll be like, oh, I remember you from your emails and stuff like that. Promotional things, and I think it's a good idea to have some kind of goodie bag. We might not have as fancy next time, but something is always nice to give away, and then people get happy about that, and not just like a stupid pin or a sticker. I think they want something else. Don't be afraid to talk to people. I am a pretty shy person, and I'm not very talkative. But somehow, because it was in America, it wasn't like on our home turf, and it wasn't people that we see all the time. And I thought it was really exciting to talk to, and also people are a lot more open there. People will come up to us and start chatting, And it doesn't mean that you have to have like a business deal going on. Just like small chat. So I made sure to stand up as much as I could to be more welcoming into our booth, because I can't stand. I'm also a little bit hyper. I can't sit down. I'm thinking like, oh, who's coming down the aisle? If I'm going to miss someone, or if I take up my phone to look, I'm going to miss something. Somebody's going to think I'm not interested. Like, oh, so ridiculously stressed about that. But I think that's a good technique, to stand up, or at least be interested and open for people to come and chat with you. Make eye contact much easier for someone to say hello. I think it's important to choose a booth wisely. I think we got an amazing place. It was like in the first corridor, and it was also at a corner right from where the other trade show ICFF was. So people were constantly going in and out there, so we caught people's eyes, which is excellent. We had a very clean booth design with only like 1.5 panels each. So you could definitely see our work and two examples of each person. It wasn't as chaotic like some other booths. There's just so much to look at. So I think we got a lot of compliments that our booth was very clean and easy to understand, and that was really good. Another thing that we learned from showing our work, people are pretty busy and they're kind of stressed, I'd say, so they want to see your work as quick as possible. So next time I think we'd really work on showing our work in proper categories. They're much easier for people to flip through. Because for the most part, I thought that people were looking for something pretty specific. They weren't just browsing. So it is hard. They didn't really have time to look through these gorgeous portfolios that we had created, and that was kind of a bummer as well, because I was hoping that people were really going to take time and look at your art, but you know, they're just blasting through looking for that specific thing that they were looking for, whatever that was. I would definitely do Certex again, and I recommend it to anybody who's serious about being a professional in surface pattern design. So I think that's pretty good recap of our first Certex, and I can't really complain. So I'll keep you posted, and hopefully in the next coming months, years, you'll start seeing Kristina license things on different products. That'd be really cool. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know in the comments if you have any other questions about Certex that I missed or anything like that. And I'll see you later. I hope that I can turn back the time to make it all